Hateful or all you want, but tonight he saved us a lot of times. I would say primarily yes in the first. That defense did a tremendous job. In the second half, it looks like Dino Babers and the Syracuse offense made a lot of adjustments. They saw that the DNs weren't holding the edge, and the linebackers was just lost in space. So they took advantage of that both in the passing game and with Schrader with his feet. So when you have question marks at linebacker, you have 3 to 4 rotational guys at best. Teams are going to eventually figure it out, which is what we've seen for the last year and a half. Poor linebacker play results in FSU getting put in a situation where they can't get teams off the field. But overall, the defense came through when they had to on that last drive after just being awful, especially in the fourth quarter. So they came through. Don, do I think the Noles win next weekend? I don't know yet. I think that, as I said a few minutes ago, I think it's going to be a better game than people think. North Carolina they lost a lot last year. They lost 2 really good running backs. They lost 3 wide receivers. They lost some stuff on the offensive line. Their defense is super young. It's 1 or 2 years away from just how good they've been recruiting. So I think that it's going to be a game where kind of what we saw today, where Sam Howell is going to make a lot of plays with his feet. But can Carolina's skill players step up and be consistent, which will allow Howell to be the quarterback he is? I don't know if I can see that yet. So I think it's going to be a good game. I'm not ready to say Florida State can win yet. Before the season, I had Carolina winning by, I think, 10. Oh, you're from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Thanks for listening. That's pretty cool. Florida State fans all over the world celebrating as Florida State goes to 1-4 on the season and gets their first win, 33-30, as Ryan Fitzgerald kicks a field goal as time expires. But I'd like to see for y'all to comment how many of y'all were nervous when you saw that game come down to that final kick, knowing that Fitzgerald missed an extra point earlier in the game and that he's not been the best so far this season. I know that in the group chat for No Game Day, I talked about I think he's going to miss it because he just hasn't handled the pressure well. But I'm very happy to be wrong. To be wrong about that. So Darren, why do they hold on to timeouts on critical down, i.e. 3rd and 10 with a 7-point lead? I don't understand that either, Darren. That's a good question. Especially on that last drive, I felt they played a little bit with fire, not calling that timeout, especially when Travis was a little bit of struggling to catch his breath after that run. They should have called a timeout there, but I think he's really trying to let this team play fast and push through the adversity is really the only answer I have. I do question why they covet those timeouts so much when you have a team that is just so inconsistent and a team that needs to be gathered up and told to chill at times. And that's the best way for me to put it is, we saw it several times early in the game today, where Travis would be in the pocket, get happy feet, and take a sack on 2nd down, or again in that last drive where Travis and 20 odd yards on the field, and they're right back at it when the offense needs to collect themselves and get a play that will sustain the drive and keep the offense on the field. So that'd be a great question to ask Monday at the press conference, to be honest with you. Derek, do you think that was a hold on the last run? Yeah, he held them, but also the Syracuse guy had his hands up in his face mask. So really, I think the ref just let it go. If you rewatch it, Washington did have him have his shoulder pad, had his jersey, but his head was all the way to the back because the defender had his hand all the way up on his chin strap. So that could have gone either way. Great call by the refs. Usually that's a play that Florida State loses out on. We're so used to FSU fans getting the short end of the stick. So I'm happy to let that play go.